Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B on the KCB Sports Network. How's everybody doing today? So I just listened to Christian Izzy, and if you actually listen to that presser, he sounds like the type of football Dan Campbell loves. He talked about leaving it all on the field. He talked about how that game was when he got the picks off of Jared Goff to help the Bucs win that day. MDE, good to see you, brother. So last night, I had to do some investigating because all of a sudden the Lions had $19 million more in cap space. So I'm looking and I'm like, did they restructure anything? KCB is still kneecap biting. We are the kneecap biting sports network. And back in the very beginning days of radio, K used to be what started AM radio stations, and KCB was a station in Detroit. It was very close to the river. And across the river, Channel 9, before it became CBC, was known as KBC. Oh, yeah, there it is. RBF wanted to hear it. It was voted in. So the $19 million was the leftover rollover cap from 2025, $19.2 million. So now that gives us $41.98 million in cap space. The problem is the new signings has not been added in yet. So I do know of 4 of those salaries. Cade Mays is 8.33. Don't know the exact details of how the contract breaks down, so I have to go by the average per year. Larry Borum is $5 million. Rock Ya-Sin is 3.2. It was announced as 4, so as you see, it goes down a little bit. And Isaiah Pacheco, or Pacheco, however you want to say it, I don't care. 1.81. That equals $17.3 million. So take that off. We're back at $35 million right now. We need $12.3 million to be able to sign our rookies this year because we don't have third-round picks. They didn't move the pick for AG from the 5th round to the 3rd like everybody said they might do. So that means we have 35 million people that we know about. And there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players to hit that salary cap. And it depends on how much they get. Those players being Malcolm Rodriguez, Christian Izzy, the guy we just signed, Trevor Nowoski, Malcolm Rodriguez, Teddy Bridgewater, and Tom Kennedy. Yo, 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 Boston Paul. How you doing, my brother from another mother? So until those hit, I'm going to assume let's round it to $2 million a piece for those guys until we know what it is. I know that the linebackers do tend to get paid more as a vet minimum than $2 million. I'm just throwing a ballpark figure. So let's say we spent another 10. That takes us to $25 million. That means we have $12 million left to sign, which is enough for one tier 2 player for one. And if I had to choose between these two, you tell me who you want. Cam Jordan at 34 with 15 years in the end, or 33, 15 years, missed 2 games in his entire career and had 10.5 sacks last year. But the 2 years prior to that was down for him. Or AJ Epinesa, who basically was on the bench and got 2.5 sacks in rotation, has about 12 sacks in his 6-year career altogether. Never really got utilized the way he should have because I don't think the scheme in Buffalo fit him. And in 2020, when AJ Epinesa came out in the draft, he was one of the players I was pounding the table for instead of, our second round pick that year, Jelani Tavai. The same one that Dan Campbell said he broke his laptop or tablet over watching the draft that day when the Lions drafted him. He's 27 years young. He's only been in the league 6 years. He was a third-year player out of Iowa, defensive end. Yeah, I would want AJ. You could probably get him for what we lost AQM for, who turned that amount of money down from Brad. Don't forget, we made him a contract offer, and he said he'd rather test free agency and got the same exact thing from the Buccaneers, which leads me to my next topic. Last season, we heard all year from podcasters across the board, not this one, but podcasters, everybody, saying we had nobody opposite Aiden Hutchinson. And I was, after Davenport got hurt, who only had 1 sack in 2 games, I started talking about AQM. Hello, Donna. Good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. Right. If it's 1 year, which you might have to pay him the vet minimum, and I think at the position is $8 million, or get the young guy that you could get probably for 3 years for 18. I agree. I would take AJ. So yesterday, Tampa Bay signs him for what Brad offered him. He didn't get a dime more. He didn't even get what Spotrac said he should get for the vet minimum at 31 years old. Oh no, MDE, look who it is. It's Smoking Dad. He's the one that gave me this voice for radio. I don't know where I got the singing voice from. I'd say my mom, but I've heard her sing sometimes. I know my dad's a tenor. As long as he sings 10 or 20 miles away, it's good. But love you, Dad. So yesterday, after he leaves, I see 8 different podcasters that complained about AQM being here last season. I watched them say, the Lions just lost their pass rush specialist. Where was this when he was on the team? Where was that talk when he was on the team by these other podcasters? I'm not naming names. I'm not calling anybody out by name. Thank you for the kind words there, Donna. I am sick of this double entendre, opinionated bullshit people we have. Cry we don't have anybody opposite Hutchinson for an entire season, and then cry when the guy opposite Hutchinson leaves. Everybody forgets we still got Ahmad Hassani. Now, he's not a starter yet. He's unproven. He was hurt last year. We held him out after we came back. I know. Absolutely. I said, MDE's been here with me for over a year. You've been with me for over half a year, Donna. I've been saying we should have re-signed AQM back before Thanksgiving, after his 5-week stint when the whole defense fell apart. And there's a specific day I want to bring up. Week 9, just before Hutch signed his contract. We played the Tampa Buccaneers. And AQM, Talik Williams gets benched because Aleem McNeil's back. Aleem has a good game. He gets a sack on Baker Mayfield. We win the game. I know. I was talking to the ones that haven't been here as long, RBF and Motown Mitch. And I've been on other podcasts in the comments defending AQM, that we should have brought him back, that we should have extended him immediately because he was earning his prove it deal in the first half of the season already, when he had 6.5 sacks, I think it was, by week 9. And when we benched Talik Williams to keep Reeder on the field next to Aleem, the entire defense disappeared for 5 weeks. Do we all remember this? The Chiefs, they were able to run up the middle. The Giants, able to run up the middle, able to do whatever they want. Even Jameis Winston caught a touchdown pass from their running back. Or no, from Wan'Dale Robinson, excuse me. Our secondary was trying to cover on an island in man coverages. We weren't playing enough zones. Thank you, Donna. Yep. 2 years you've been along with me, Motown Mitch, ever since I got. Yep. But that whole time, right after Hutchinson signed his contract, we benched Talik Williams and made him rotational with Lopez. And the only time we got any pocket collapse from the center, from the defensive tackle position, who was on the field? Roy Lopez and Talik Williams, when Reeder and McNeil was on the bench. And it didn't make a difference until 5 weeks later, after Thanksgiving. But by that time, it was too late. Our O-line was playing so bad, we weren't converting third downs. Yes, Paul. Boston Paul is on here. My co-host for the MLB or Baseball Roundtable Talks on Saturday. Good morning, Nick. And the biggest thing was the first 8 weeks when Talik Williams was with Reeder on the field, with Lopez rotating in. That was before Pat O'Connor got hurt, when he was actually contributing. Teams averaged 2.7 yards per carry with that combination on the field. He goes out, and the yards per carry the rest of the season goes to 4.7, except when Talik Williams is on the field. And I hear Talik Williams was a bad pick. He played 18% of the snaps, and guess what? He had 1.5 sacks more than DJ Reeder and Aleem McNeil, who both had 1. Right. Oh, it's just change of weather. It happens all the time. Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. MD enlightened me to your expertise. Thank you, MD. Hey, I appreciate him enlightening me to you, because I'll tell you what, it was a pleasure listening to you talk baseball. And I said, the best thing it is that you could do is act like it's guys talking at the bar or just talking on the phone. And that's what you did. And it was amazing. You did great Saturday night, Paul. We all fed off each other. We commented on each other's teams. There was none of that animosity stuff, and I loved it. That's the type of show I want. So I'm about ready to create us a little Facebook Messenger chat with Paul, Adam, and Big Rich. I am drinking chocolate and caramel creamer in this most wonderful Italian roast coffee. And oh, it's amazing. At least it's the right team on there. You know, if I'm going to support them, I'm going to support them all the way. My own logos. I have my own shirts. Oh yeah, it's just the right amount of sweet and bitter. I like it. Italian roast, awesome. Yeah, well, on my mother's side, her father's side was Lil J out of Sicily. So I have Italian, French, German. I'm a mutt. Almost all German from dad's side, both sides of his family. And of course, on my mom's side, it's Italian and Irish. And awesome. So we're all mutts and we're all living on stolen land, according to the left. Woohoo, German in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Look at the last name. It doesn't get much more German than having the Reich in your last name. We pronounce it Ballrick in America. It's amazing. And I can cook Italian, so. Bellissimo. So I'm just sick of the talking out both sides of your mouth. Right. Your last name now is, what is it, Gibson? But Ballricks is actually a potato chip company in Ohio, based in Tiffin. Absolutely, Nick. Perfect. Ah, he's like me. Mutt. Hey, I love saying I'm a third generation American because that's what I am. Both sides. Both families came over in the early 1900s. My great grandfather on my mother's side was a part of the sit down strike that formed the UAW at Fisher One right here in Flint, Michigan. He was on the cover playing the banjo during the sit down strike when it started. My dad and I, we were on the cover of the Metro section of the Flint Journal because I went to Beecher Daily. And all you got to do is read the article. It's from September 5th, 1975. But you know what we are now? That's our ancestry. We're Americans. Yinzer, what's up, my favorite jackwagon? Good to see you, my brother. That would be a good move. You guys need some help. I think it's funny that Gary gets traded to the Cowboys and restructures his contract immediately. He's already done more for the Cowboys than he did for the Packers last season. Just saying. It's just starting to get cold. We got a little snow on the ground. It's windy. I don't know if it's going to warm up tomorrow or not. I didn't say it couldn't happen. I'm saying it could happen. Fantastic. I wish I could afford it. They're the same size. They both need at least 3 phone books to reach a microphone at a presser. I am so over it being in the 80s for 3 days, and now it's freezing. Yeah, I know. We hit the 60s to 70. I think we had 70 on Monday, which is why my voice is like this, sinus drainage. At least 3. The old style, the big one with the white and yellow pages combined for a big city. Minneapolis, Charlotte. Awesome. Because when a team wants you feel it and want to do more. And Christian Isian today said all the right things as coming in. He was asked specifically about that game when he picked off twice. They're 5'8". They're so short I look down on them, and I'm only 6 foot. I did get that picture of Kyler Murray arriving in Minnesota yesterday to sign his contract. That's him checking in at the airport, making sure he's getting his Uber. I think that counter says you must be this tall to ride this ride. Two. I know. To be fair, Donna, men are supposed to be taller than you. That's the way it's supposed to go. There are the exceptions, just like everything else. But I'd say about 80% of the women are shorter than the average male. Yeah, that's cool that he gets to play for him. That is cool that he gets to play for the team that he grew up loving. I saw they did a timeline of his posts going all the way back to 2012 of him talking about the Vikings. Jordan is 4'3". I wasn't talking about Cam Jordan. I was talking about AJ Epinesa. Just kidding. 5 foot. Yeah, I'm 5'11". We still look down on Kyler Murray and Bryce Young. Thank you for tuning in, Donna. Donna is a great Eagles and Bears fan. How she ended up with 2 teams in the NFC bothers me, but oh, okay. I was like, I thought you were talking about Cam Jordan for a second when you said 4'3" because you did it as a hyphen, not as the apostrophe and the double apostrophe. Got it. Now I understand. I'm short. Hey, Paul, that's okay. It's okay to be short. I do not short shame unless you're a quarterback. Christian Isian is 5'10", almost, he's like 5'10.6". So I round up to 5'11" for him because I've shrank over the years. Oh my God, no accounting for taste. Oh, just kidding, Donna. Kyler Murray is 5'8", standing on a 4 foot. Hey, nice. Oh, I still remember when Bryce Young showed up after he was picked first overall by the Panthers, and he stepped up to the podium. You couldn't see anything but the top of his fro over the podium. So they had to put a step stool there for him to step up, and he still had to pull the microphone down. And I about died. I was like, And that's like watching a little kid trying to give a speech, and then AI started these whole baby things. I was like, yep, there it is. That's Bryce Young. So this is the list of what we've signed and re-signed this offseason. Cade Mays, Larry Borum, Rock Ya-Sin, Isaiah Pacheco, Trevor Nowaski, Tom Kennedy, Christian Izzian, Malcolm Rodriguez, and Teddy Bridgewater. That would be me, Bryce. He's like 5'7", 5'8". He's the same size as Kyler. If either one of them are 5'10", I'll chop the 3 inches off to make me the same height. My only problem with Kyler, is he plays great for about 8 to 9 games a season. In the back half of the season, he falls off, and he falls off harder than he goes from. It's a different era. 5'9" then was considered a giant back in the late 60s, early 70s, because the average height of a male was 5'6". The average height now is 5'9". It's crazy. Average women height is 5'6" now. If you think about that, that blows my mind. But it also goes back to when the FDA changed and stopped being so stringent on what they could put in food for the cattle and all that. GHMOs, growth hormones. The primary shareholder of. I think he'll do better there because of the weapons around him. And thank God he's got a tall receiver in Justin Jefferson, because I don't know if he'll see Jordan Addison over the line. Oh, they already said they gave up on the kid. Yeah. And he works better with vets than he does with rookies. We saw that last year. JJ and Max Brosmer, I didn't see much. Carson Wentz was okay, but he wasn't great. I think Carson Wentz is the odd man out. So somebody, a Minnesota fan, posted, "Wow, we're going to give him $36.8 million for 1 year. You're only paying the vet minimum of it." It's a much like when Russ left Denver and went to Pittsburgh, or how Tua left to go to Atlanta. They're only paying him $1.31 million for both of those quarterbacks. That's a steal. So they still have all that cap room, and they've done nothing. I don't know what they're doing. James Pierce is a solid nickel corner. Not with rookies, anyways. We figured that out. Bryce Young is 5'9" in real life. Okay, yeah, he's still short. Fields to Cards, maybe. I don't think anybody wants him. Kyler Murray is 5'8" in real life. I've said that he's 5 foot if he steps on a phone book there, broski. That guy's a midget by men's average height standards. Good to see you, broski. You're more than welcome to hop in. What you usually do when you want to talk ball. 31 people watching. Make sure you hit that like button across the networks. No matter what platform you're watching on, it helps us all grow. Whether you're watching it on Ken the Bear Fans X, you're watching it on Rob's X, whether you're watching it on my YouTube, whether you're watching it on Rumble. All right, no problem. Yeah, Jaquan Brisker was a great pickup for the Steelers. I think he's going to be missed in Chicago. Granted, the DB class and the linebacker class is very deep this year. And Broski, I love the way Devin Bush tackles, but I'll say it again, he's the Kyler Murray of linebackers. He can't cover a tight end or a tall wide receiver to save his ass. It can't be worse than Jalen Ramsey at safety. I'll just say. Yeah, and then he went to Oklahoma, I think it was, or Nebraska, whatever. Yep. Oh, he left because he couldn't beat out Tua, turn the ball over. The walking mash profile. So again, we lost a total of 10 players, and we've already signed 9, and we got room for one more splash signing. Yeah, 2 of those pick sixes, both of them were really bad passes. They weren't great coverage. They went right to him. It's kind of like how we talked about Trayvon Diggs there, broski. I met Brisker when he was a kid. My friend Dre knew his family living. Oh, nice. Can't believe Millie Vanilli is the running back for the Lions, aka. Hey, you know what? I say Sonic and Tails. I like that better than the new movie that's coming out, Sonic and Shadow, because Shadow's actually Sonic's enemy to begin with, where Tails was the fox that is Sonic's best friend. So that's why I went Sonic and Tails. Shadow becomes a friend after Sonic beats him. And we already know Gibbs beat Pacheco. But for $1.18 million or $1.81 million, I'm very happy with the Pacheco signing, Steve. He called himself Tazner. I didn't get to see the whole interview. I just saw the quote about how he felt when Dan Campbell called him. As soon as he heard the voice, he said, "Let's fucking go!"
Let's fucking go!
But it is that time where I get to hear those 3 words if MDE is watching. You know what to say. Because it's how I close out every show. Yeah, when he's on the field, he's amazing. Quick, shifty, catches great. There it is. He said it. Yes, I'm right there with you. We have $12 million to sign a player. And if we're going to sign one player, that's the one I want. And you could probably make it so we can get 2 out of it because he's young enough. He could probably get a little bit more than the vet minimum at the position for his age. You could probably get him for about $7 million and leave $5 million in cap to sign. Yes. All right, let's do it. That was yesterday's. First thing I do is I switch it to ESPN. I trust their rankings better than PFSN. Just saying. And away we go. One trade offer. I'm not giving up a pick. Even though I get a second round pick next year, if it was a third round pick this year, I'd consider it. There he is. That's the guy I want. No, right there he is. That's the guy for me. Aiden Fisher. I love this kid. Heartbeat of the Hoosiers defense. Trading Stooks. I like him because he's 6'1" and 190, but Tacario Davis, he was so fast. That's a tough one. I'm just looking down here. Look, Lorenzo Styles did shoot up the board after that fast 40. I figured he would. Let me look at safety first. Yeah, I think I'm going to go trading Stooks. Okay. Yep. I like the. He didn't run at the combine, and I heard it was due to an injury. This guy did 6'3", 206, and an excellent RAS. And to me, that's huge. There went Trey Zune. I knew I should have took him. There went Caden Dan. Man. All right. Wow, he dropped big time. No, I didn't grab a running back this time. I just drafted. No, that's at the end of the show. End of the show. Yeah, just a quick mop. Oh, I love the banter. It's great, guys. Let's stop the sharing. Get the view right for me. Vinny, good to see you, brother. All right, the latest mock draft 68 is being uploaded right now. That way I can share it on the screen and discuss it. Monroe Freeling, Gabe Jacobs, Aiden Fisher, Traden Stooks, VJ Payne, Pat Coogan, Ephesians Prysock, Jack Strand, and Riley Nowakowski. One pride. All right, Paul, Vinny, Steve. I'm glad you went back to Steve Israel. Yeah. I think we might be able to get one in the UDFAs. Don't forget, we got Jabari Small, and I was looking at it. Who was the other guy that I forgot about that we had in the backup department? Kai Robichaux also. Both Robichaux came out of the UFL, just like Jacob Sailors. And we still got Jabari Small that we picked up off of the Titans practice squad that everybody was like, oh my God, he's going to be great. And he's not that great. But they're here. We did extend them. They were one of the futures contracts that we got. So people are saying, oh man, we lost 10 people off the roster, not 10 starters. Let's see, we lost Graham Glasgow as a starter, and that was a good riddance. We lost Leaf to the Bears, and that was predicted. I said he'd be gone. We lost. Oh, here we go. We're already knocking the rosters before free agency, and the draft is even done. Love it. I think every team in the NFC North took a step back, but a small step forward with their free agent acquisition so far. Which one was that? I'm trying to remember. If you're talking about Nate Lynn, I believe he's still on the roster. Let's see. Edge, we got Ahmad Hassanin. I don't know why Chris Smith was there. I thought we got rid of him. Mikai Wingo. We still got Tyler Lacey. We got Levi Onwuzurike. Of course, we got Aiden Hutchinson. So the good news about that restructure of Jared Goff. Remember we talked about that percentage point where it changes for teams? Yeah, Nate Lynn. He was medically waived. He's gone. We need to pick up one. Or it's not as empty as everybody thinks. Don't forget, we got Wingo who came back healthy. Levi Onwuzurike still here, and at 1.2 million, you don't get rid of him. It doesn't hurt you to keep him. If he plays, great. If he doesn't, he will be gone. Because when Levi was on the field, when he was healthy, he did show flashes. And so I want to see if he can stay healthy a full season now. That kid just had it rough. First it was his back, then his arm, now his knee. He's a walking mash unit. I want to see what he can do because he's shown flashes on the field while playing in real games, not just preseason. So I want to see what he can do. I'm still upset that Nate Lynn got so hurt we had to let him go. Nate Lynn was the edge guy I wanted to show out. He had a few sacks in the beginning of the season. He was looking good, and we didn't keep him on the active roster. That one bugged me. Because he did it against the two games where we faced starting offensive lines. And that mattered to me. So let's go over that draft one more time just so I can recap it. At 17, Monroe Feeling, offensive tackle out of Georgia. I think he's the second best left tackle in this draft. Not named Francis Mauagawa. Gabe Akis, spelled Jacus but pronounced Akis. Defensive end, most violent hands in the draft, in my opinion, out of the University of Illinois. Aiden Fisher, linebacker, Indiana. We all know they won the national championship, and he was a big part of it, making big plays over the middle, covering guys. He may be 6'1 and 232, but he plays like he's 6'3. Traden Stukes, a 6'1, 190-pound corner. VJ Payne, a 6'3", 206 ball hawking safety out of Kansas State. Pat Coogan, the center, off of that offensive line that protected Fernando Mendoza all year. Ephesians Prysock, a 6'3", 205-pound corner out of Washington. Jack Strand, a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback out of MSU Moorhead, who broke Division II records last year with 42 touchdowns and only 8 picks. And Riley Nowakowski, the tight end off the national championship Indiana team that also played fullback and ran in one of their touchdowns. Am I saying we're not going to pick somebody up in free agency? I want it to be AJ Epinesa. I've been pounding the table. I pounded the table for him back 6 years ago when we picked Jelani Tabai. I wanted him or DK Metcalf. And say what you want. Yes, the first year with Metcalf would have been awful, but under the tutelage of Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, and Antoine Randall L., I think DK Metcalf would have been a different kid. I think he needed more guidance. That's who I wanted in 2020, that round. And we didn't take either one of them. We took Jelani Tabai, a guy that was so buried in the archives of ESPN for that draft. They had to go search the day 3 archives for UDFAs that could make a team to bring him up. It took them I think it was a 10-minute commercial break to get his video up there. I laughed when we drafted him and cried at the same time. So I looked him up, and he had decent stats at Hawaii. I was like, well, maybe it'll... Fuck. It's Hawaii. I was like, everybody thought Tommy Chang out of Hawaii was going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. That bombed out quicker than it started. So we got Goff and Teddy Two Gloves. That's why I draft one. I draft a guy to develop with one of those 2 last picks. That's just me. And I like Jack Strand because he's like Josh Allen out of Division II, if you think about it. And I'm not saying he is Josh Allen. I'm saying his build, his arm strength, the arm elasticity, all of that stuff. And he's able to move around in the pocket. He did rush for a total of 10 touchdowns the last 2 seasons for MSU Moorhead as well. So I like this kid. He had 112 total touchdowns over 3 seasons. I think he'd be a great pickup. Whether we get him in the draft or if we take him as a UDFA, that's the quarterback I want out of this draft class. I want him more than I'd want Fernando Mendoza if I had the number 1 pick. I would go O-line. But that's just me. But when you pick up Tyler Linderbaum because you had $112 million in cap space while you still had Max on the roster, which everybody fails to realize. Yes, they spent $283 million total on their players, but that's not the average per year. Most of them are 3-year contracts, so divide that by 3, and you're closer to what they probably spent. They spent about $90 million. Because I'm going to look now. I think they even got some rollover relief like we did. So all that's not on their roster is Malcolm Coots, Quay Walker, Connor Hayward, Derek Young, and Tristan McCullum. And I doubt Derek Young broke the bank. He was a guy I talked about as a UDFA that got drafted out of Lenore-Rhine. I like this kid coming out in the draft. He's 27. His rookie contract was 4 years at $3.7 million as the what pick was he? The 233rd pick overall. I draft 2 edge pieces. I've done it before in the draft. The one I did yesterday, I took Gabe Jacobs and Jamon Tapp in the later rounds. I don't mind taking 2 edge pieces this draft as long as you get one in the second round. I think our offensive tackle has to be addressed at 17 or you trade back. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Because there's only 3 or 4 guys that I actually think are first round talent in the edge room this year. And I don't think Averill Reese is an actual edge player. I think he's a positionless player that they throw in at edge because he's just so quick. He can get past guys. It's less that he's shifty. It's just he's fast and he's small. Oh, yeah. If you look, Kirby's knee doesn't look that bad. He was walking fine at the Michigan game. I have that picture. Let me load it. I hate the fact he did acupuncture instead of the surgery to repair it because it's supposed to be unhealable, but this is that electrolysis acupuncture that they do, modern mixed with ancient arts. That's him getting it work done right there. And you see a slight bit of swelling up here, but that isn't where the problem was. The problem was under the knee. It was a cartilage down there that he has an issue with under the patella. That's why it doesn't heal. It's one of those ones that's like attached to the back of your knee that holds your floating kneecap in place, attaches it to tendons. But yes, injuries, people returning from injury, that's huge for these teams. But it's getting that time of day where I'm feeling like it's time for a mocha frappe. And my stepdad wants one too. I'm going to take us out of here. And remember, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Tune in tonight, 9 p.m. with the Lions Fan Cave chat. And go Pack Go. Boston Paul, if any of you want to be a part of it to talk a little football, I'm fine with that too. Just shoot me a message. But have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy your sports. Enjoy the WBC because we made it to the quarterfinals. We're versus Canada, I believe, today. And MDE mentioned it last night. Wouldn't that be ironic? We beat Canada at their historic pastime for a sport. What if Canada somehow beats America in our pastime of a sport? I don't think it'll happen, but it's food for thought. Oh, you want to hear it? Okay, it's requested. FTP!
Turn it up, it's that time again. Jeremy B. Lyons, he's your best friend. Every weekday, Evan, you know the vibe. He's shouting one ride with that rocket drive. Rolling up the scene, light up that fire. Jeremy's in the booth, taking us higher. With a grin and a laugh, he's got the crowd in a blaze. Smoking out the haters in a rock star haze. The stories that inspire and riffs that will ignite. When one pride echoes, everything feels right. Jeremy B. every day at 11. Yelling 1P ride like we're in rock heaven.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.